Sync. So today I wanted to talk about the movies that I watched last month. Now, since February of 2020, I've been keeping track of every single movie that I've watched, whether it's my first time watching it or if I've watched it before. Can you guys hear the sirens? Now, some months I'll watch like just 3 movies. It'll be a pretty slow month. Other months I'll be up in like around 10, 12, and I'm sure other people watch probably more movies sometimes, but I don't know. That's as much as I'll watch in a month. But anyway, real quick before we get started, I want to thank everybody for all the support in the last video. As of the recording of this video, it's up to 4,000 views, which is insane. It might be up to 4.1. That's like the most views that any of my recent videos have gotten in a long time. So I just want to thank everybody for all the support. Now, I will be doing more reactions soon, don't worry. I have a couple suggestions in the comments from last video that I do want to check out, some of Warren Hughes stuff. But today, I will just be checking out these 4 movies, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I don't know if I'll do it every single month. I'll probably make this a series. I just enjoy talking about movies that I've watched and discussing them, and hopefully anybody out there watching will have stuff to say about it too, because, well, they're pretty different movies. Normally I try to have pretty varied kinds of movies that I watch. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. Let's get to the first movie I watched in May. Okay, so the first movie I watched in May was Disney's Soul, and that was actually the first time that I'd seen the movie. I'd heard it was really good when it came out, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. But with Disney Plus, I had a free night and I decided to watch it. Soul came out in 2020 and it was directed by Pete Docter, the chief creative officer at Disney, and Kemp Powers, who, when I looked it up, it said he has directed the movie One Night in Miami, which I have not seen. But he's slated to direct the Into the Spider-Verse 2, which will come out in 2022. Which will come out in 2022, so I'm excited for that. I really liked the Soul, so I'm optimistic for Spider-Verse 2. Alright, so I'm not going to give a full breakdown of the movie or anything here. It's more just my thoughts when I watched it and what I think about it now. So I've thought about Soul a lot since I've watched it. I honestly think I consider it one of my new favorite movies. I just thought it was really, really emotional. It kind of hit close to home just with the whole finding yourself and your purpose and everything. I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, but I'm sure a lot of people, especially new people, don't know, but I am a film major at my college, so that's why I'm doing this video pretty much, and that's why I've been doing videos for forever. But in the story, it was just about a very passionate man who liked jazz, and but he kind of felt like he lost his mojo, I guess, and I don't know. Throughout the movie, if you've seen it, it's just all about finding yourself and what it means to live, and it was very relatable. And I definitely cried. I think I cried like at least twice in my initial viewing. And if you've seen the movie, the scene where he's just playing the piano by himself towards the end, that made me cry so hard. I don't think I've ever cried that hard with the movie, but that's why I really liked it. It was just so emotional, and I'm sure anybody of any age can find something of value in it, because it really is a beautiful movie, not only story-wise, but aesthetically and artistically. It is gorgeous. It's probably one of my favorite just animated movies in general, but also just overall, just stylistically. I just love how all the characters look, and especially how with the music it all goes together. It's a very music heavy movie because it's about the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's all about his passion with jazz, so it's amazing. So if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend, no matter your age or where you come from. I think it has a great message that is worth hearing. And you might think it's a kids movie, but I feel like that isn't really fair. It is a family movie, but that doesn't mean it's childish. It has a lot of serious messages about life and death. I've said multiple times, but it's about finding who you are and how to live with yourself, and I really do think it has something for everybody. On to the next movie. Okay, for this next movie, we're back to red lighting because next movie I watched in May was Deadpool, the first one. Deadpool was released in 2016 and it was directed by Tim Miller, who also directed Terminator Dark Fate and Thor the Dark World, which he just has a thing for dark things. But he also directed Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Love, Death, Robots, a couple episodes of the Netflix series, which I really, really like. I find it interesting that he's directed such enjoyed and then such disliked pieces of media. And I mean, obviously, there'll be fans and haters for both or either. But personally, I really enjoyed. I think the good makes up for the bad here. But anyway, enough about the other movies. Deadpool. So this wasn't my first time seeing it. I did see it when it came out in 2016. And it was interesting going back and seeing it now in 2021. I remember when the first movie came out, it had a very like edgy and but funny tone. It was very self-aware because obviously in Deadpool's character, part of that is being self-aware and breaking the fourth wall all the time. Now, not that I didn't like the humor anymore, but I did find at times that it was kind of, I don't know, not necessarily cringy, but it just didn't hit as hard as it did when it came out. I feel like a lot of media in the last couple of years has gone that route of self-aware or like satirical, almost self-parody type. Yeah, a lot of shows like to like look right at the camera and be like, "Ha, I'm in a show. You're watching a movie." But at the time, Deadpool was one of the biggest like hero movies. I know he's an anti-hero, but one of the biggest movies like that was rated R and gotten so big, and it was really popular. And I think it definitely kind of changed how movies or superhero movies and the self-aware movies like that are seen now. It was like the catalyst, I guess, for a lot of those types of movies to be released. So yeah, I did enjoy watching the movie, and I thought it had funny moments, and emotionally, I liked it. I didn't think it fell flat or anything. I don't know if I'd watch it again for some time, maybe. I wouldn't necessarily not watch it. I just don't think I'll go out of my way to see it again for some time. I am excited for Deadpool 3, which will be part of the MCU. I don't know how that's going to work. They said it's going to be rated R. But I am really excited to see how that goes. I don't know who's directing it, though. But we'll see. But on to the next movie. Yellow this time because the next movie I watched in May was Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's right. The 2021 version of Mortal Kombat. And oh man, this movie did come out this year, 2021, and it was directed by Simon McQueed. I was gonna say surprised to find out it was his first movie. I don't really think I'm that surprised. By that I mean I really did not. Pretty much the whole time, except for the beginning, the whole time it just felt like kind of a mess. I've seen a lot of people agree in saying that the first scene, like the intro part, was really good. I actually genuinely liked that scene. It had emotion and it felt impactful. It was like a man protecting his family. You can empathize with it. But after that, I don't know, it just became an utter mess. It was just way too chaotic. I felt like the pacing was all over the place. Some parts would feel kind of slow, but at one point it just kept going and going and going. Pretty like breakneck speed. Like I was getting whiplash from how fast they were moving, and like I did enjoy some parts. Some parts made me laugh, and seeing the real characters or seeing the characters in real life was entertaining. I'm not a huge fan of Mortal Kombat, but I'm familiar with the franchise. That being said, the lack of logic it just took me out of it. Luckily, I was watching it with my friends, so we were laughing at it, but if I was by myself watching this, I probably would have finished it just because I started, but it would have been difficult. It just felt really devoid of logic, which, if there had been more fights and everything, to distract you from that, it would have been nice, but I felt like there weren't enough fights for it being a Mortal Kombat movie, and the fights were really, really short, especially at the end when like all the bad guys are being like picked off one by one. Well, not even one by one, like they just, each of the heroes like goes to one of them. That just felt like it should have been longer. This really did kind of feel like it was just setting up for a cooler sequel or something, but I genuinely was disappointed with this movie. It could have been a lot better. Maybe the sequel will come out and it'll be better, but if you have a couple hours to spare, I would say go ahead, but I would not recommend this movie alone. Like, watch it with friends so you can sort of laugh at it and or have it in the background, but overall, I would not recommend. Okay, and the final movie that we will look at today is Army of the Dead. Now, this movie also came out in 2021, and it was directed by Zack Snyder, who has directed 300, Man of Steel, Justice League, Watchmen. So, going into this, I was optimistic. I don't think his movies are perfect. They are definitely entertaining, though. But, I don't know. I was horribly disappointed by this movie. I thought after Justice League, he had all this money to make this movie with Netflix. So I don't know, I had hoped that it would be good. It was a zombie movie with him and not his first one, so going in, I was optimistic. Now, in the beginning, I liked the intro sequence, which I guess same with Mortal Kombat, but I don't know, after the beginning, it just kind of starts falling apart and loses all logic and sense. I found myself watching this and wanting it to be better every time that something would happen, but it just kept getting worse and crazier, not even in a good way, just stupid crazy. And I was really looking forward to there being like intelligent zombies, which, you know, you could argue they're not really zombies, but whatever, they were some kind of tribal zombie type thing. And it's okay, so we know there's gonna be humans versus them. That'll be interesting because I feel like we haven't really seen something like that before. But then they just started going crazy with the whole some of the zombies were robots or something. They hinted at like a time loop, but then never really did anything with that. And I've seen theories about all these things, but having just all these elements in one movie and not really explaining some of them, just hinting at them for like future projects. I don't like when movies do that lazily. I know Marvel does that a lot for setting up future movies, but I feel like it doesn't take away from what's currently happening in the movie. It was just distracting having all these different elements in one zombie movie just for it to go nowhere. Some of the characters were entertaining, but ultimately I just felt it just felt empty at the end. Like, the movie finished and I was like, wow, that was dumb. That could have been so much cooler. The cinematography, it was interesting. Some of the shots I think actually look cool, and the blurriness of them all kind of, it just made it interesting, but a lot of times it was just like, it was terrible. It looked horrible. You couldn't really tell what the hell was happening in the background. It looked kind of like it was some film student trying to be cool, be the next thing, but I personally don't think it worked. I could honestly go on for a while about it just because there's so much to say, but I might cut it there. If you want to see like everything that's wrong with the movie, there's a bunch of videos about that online, so I won't just parrot what they said. If you have some time to spare, maybe check it out. Like, the zombie killing is cool. I don't know, like with the zombie tiger, for example, I thought they were actually gonna use it for fighting or something, but it literally did nothing except kill like one guy and like sit on a car, and that's really it. It was just disappointing. I feel like I'm using the same words for describing this, saying disappointed, but I mean, I'm not gonna get mad at a movie that didn't get me that invested anyway, because if you can't pull me in as well, it doesn't matter if you fail to to have a good ending. For example, like if I was watching a good movie and it reeled me in, and then it just was destroyed by the end, or it failed at the end, then I might get more mad. I might be more than disappointed. Point is, I think Zack Snyder took an L with this one, and L for you, right? And yeah, I know that they're making I think a series prequel or something like that. They're expanding the universe, and I hope it's good, honestly. I mean, I'll probably watch it, check it out, but if their whole idea going into this movie is like, oh, we can set up all this other stuff, that's where I don't like that. And well, that's it for now. I think those are pretty much all my thoughts about these movies that I wanted to share. I'll probably do this again, and it'll probably be structured better. I'll have more cohesive thoughts probably. I just wanted to do this and try it out for the first time, just to start this series, because I do, like I said in the beginning, I do want to make this a series. And for months that I watch a lot of movies, I'll see what I do. I might just talk about the movies that I hadn't seen before. I don't know if I want to sit here and talk about like 10 movies or something, even if I am giving relatively short thoughts on it. But anyway, that's it for this video, this episode. I don't know what I'll call this series yet. Maybe like what I watched or something like that. I'll think about it. You'll see the title. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you stayed this far, comment which of these 4 movies you like the best, if you've seen them all, or if you have only seen some of them, just give me your thoughts on them. Did you agree or disagree with what I said? And I'll see you next time.